Oh, hello again, and welcome back. Just a week ago, this part of Florida was covered in 8 to 10 inches.
That's what she said.
Now, all the snow is gone, and I'm wearing shorts and a t shirt. Anyway, with Scream 7 currently in production, I wanted to talk about the original Scream, released in 1996, directed by Wes Craven,
You call me?
and written by Kevin Williamson. This movie changed the horror landscape. Speaking of Kevin Williamson, he did some awesome things after he made Scream. That's right. Dawson's Creek, baby. He's also directing the new Scream 7. Back to Scream. I saw it for the first time at home on VHS after renting it from Blockbuster. That's right. Pretty old. I later owned a copy of the unrated version on VHS. Now, as a kid, I had seen Halloween. I had seen Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, but Scream was the cream of the crop. Scream was awesome. Rocked my world. As a prepubescent boy, this movie had the scares, had pretty girls, had the kills, had the gore. It was a fun ride, you know? Needless to say, I hold this one in pretty high regard. But, of course, not everybody has the same opinion as me. So, I thought it would be fun to go find reviews of the Scream series. We'll start with the original that are not so glowing. So, here are some of the best, worst reviews that I could find. So, this first review, 2 out of 10. If you're looking for a comedy, you're possessive, right? Not you are. If you're looking for a comedy, see this movie. But if you want to see something scary, avoid this movie. Courtney Cox gave a great performance as Gale Weathers. Drew was also great. I would have liked to maybe have seen Drew in the lead. I think that would have made it a little better. Or maybe Charisma Carpenter. Nev, I didn't care for in the first one, though she was great in the second. If you do want to have a little chill in your spine, see the second. It does have a little more thrills. All in all, Scream is okay. My score, 3 out of 5. Well, your score was 2 out of 10. Would technically be 1 out of 5. Alright, 1 out of 10 stars. Quite possibly the world's most overrated horror movie. I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is a big one.
That's what she said.
We want to get to some juicy parts here. Speaking of 8th graders, am I the only person in the world who thought Neve Campbell looked like a 13-year-old boy in a wig? She's not even pretty. She has a jaw like a man and hands like a college woman's rowing team. That's kind of funny. Appearances aside, the jokes aren't funny. The original Scream costume is incredibly stupid, and it holds none of the power of the Michael Myers mask. And I'm not even a Halloween fanatic. If this was Wes Craven's idea of being meta, perhaps his time would have been better spent going back to university for a few years. Incredible drop in Craven's talent from The Last House on the Left to A Nightmare on Elm Street to Scream is absolutely tragic. Well put. Well put. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Okay. 1 out of 10 stars. One of the biggest disappointments in my life. Wow, okay. When a movie says on the cover, will scare you shitless, I expect to be scared shitless. I didn't. Not even close. I guess it's good that you didn't poop your pants watching this movie. One of the things that doesn't make this movie scary is the bad performances of the actors. And I say this as a fan of 80s slasher movies. Under the first scene, with Drew Barrymore being stalked via the phone and she cried, I had my finger up in my nose. The kills are nothing much and predictable, since almost everyone is stabbed to death. And when finally that was a creative kill, the garage, I still had my finger up in my nose. Moving on. There we go. All right. 1 out of 10 stars. So cheesy. This movie is stupid. All horror movies are. The dialogue is so cringe, and it rips off every horror movie from the past. All in the name of homage. Okay. Good, good, good. Classic. Here we go. 1 out of 10 stars. Character name Stu Mocker, not Stewart. I don't really know what that is supposed to mean. But waste 2 hours of one's life watching young girls. ... What's the point? Waste 2 hours of one's life watching young girls being psychologically terrorized, disemboweled, and left hanging in trees for mommy and daddy to discover? Guess what mommy and daddy do then? Little wonder why Americans lock their doors and don't talk to strangers. According to this movie, those strangers won't keep you safe. Anyway, this piece of shit got turned off after 15 minutes. Well, that literally is only the opening scene. And mommy and daddy, I think, are terrified and try to call the police.
Where is she? Call the police.
Moving on. Absolutely typical, illogical, and predictable horror movie. I completely don't understand how this film became a classic in genre. 0 of 10. If on Metacritic was a rating less 0 out of 10, I'd like to score it as nothing at all. Because 0 is something for this shit anyway. I don't know that I follow the logic of that one, because 0 is nothing. I think you would be wanting like to go to negatives, maybe. Like if you could give it negative something, is maybe what you were looking for. All right, last one. So Scream is a slasher horror mystery film with everyone thinking, who's the killer? Bits of humor added in Scream was directed by Wes Craven in 1996, and it stars Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, and Henry Winkler, who's Fonzie in Happy Days, which was amusing to see him in this film. The film is more or less the same or similar concept to the Halloween films or Friday the 13th films. Someone going around in a mask killing people, but it's always with a knife and a ghost face mask. The horror parts don't work, and Scream isn't scary or terrifying one bit, and some of the humor is good, but others fall flat as a pancake. I like fluffy pancakes. Rose McGowan's character is likable, and Drew's, but some, if not all, the male characters are loud, annoying, dull, or unlikable, and this feels more most of the time like a television comedy with blood more than a horror. Some of the male acting is overacted, but moronic stupidity and way over the top, and the cops are dumb with little, if any, logical intelligence. So this film's just laughable and embarrassing. Truly awful, and the film's boring too, which is the biggest sin of any director or filmmaker. Well put, Stephen. Well put. It's always with a knife and a ghost face mask. I mean, Halloween and Friday the 13th, the aforementioned movies, pretty much always a hockey mask or the Michael Myers mask, right? Anyway, those were some of the more fun ones that I found. If you enjoyed this, hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe we'll move on to Scream 2 next. All right.